A color that actually kind of isolates you from the world is the color gray, because it is a neutral color, but at the same time, you actually disappear.
Welcome to this week's edition of On the Couch series in partnership with Indigo Living. Now, each week I invite a special guest to inspire you and inspire me. This week I've invited my friend and, of course, talented superstar who has redefined the importance of color in our lives. Please welcome the founder of Gracious F, Fatima.
Hello, Rasmeen. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thanks for being here. So I will tell you, I take pleasure in choosing my outfits every week when I film the show. But this week, I was so stressed out choosing what outfit to wear, what color to wear. I think I brought 5 different options today, and we've settled on the pink. I hope I've chosen the right color.
Well, I always tell you that you always have your colors right, because of course you are the icon for fashion and divine.
Oh, thank you.
And you already actually know your colors since we've done a little bit of your session, but you actually today are purely in your favorite color, which is pink, and it looks lovely on you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. So it's approved. We're Fatima approved. We're going to start our questions. Fatima, you have single-handedly in this region defined the importance of color, whether it's our home, our office, gym, personal space, meditation room. How did you come across this really niche occupation?
Well, interestingly, my passion for color has started ever since I was a child. I always used to pick my colors before I used to paint. And I also love analyzing people, their environment. So my curiosity got me into studying in these fields. And my background in sociology and marketing kind of gave me this very instinctive feeling towards what people are looking for in their environment and how to really make it a sustainable business. But my world of color psychology started in my second degree, which was fashion design, which is always my passion. And we studied color psychology as part of one of our courses. And this is where I was introduced to the color effect system, and it was profound because it wasn't only about what color you use or what color you wear. It was more than that, because you found out about the person's personality, what they're instinctively attracted to in design, materials, jewelry, interior design.
What is the science behind color?
Actually, it's a new science. It started off in the 1980s. Angela Wright created the color effects theory. So what was interesting is that she studied it on different levels. So number one, it's the scientific effect of when you see the color, how your brain interprets it and how it affects your energy. The second part of it is also what we call color symbolism, which is kind of the influence of your culture or religion. Then it goes into the different color groups, as we said, because each hue of color has a certain wavelength. So they match the wavelength with your energy, with your personality. So a lot of these things are like indicators of which category you fall into. Then we do the gold and silver set test, which puts you in a certain category. And finally, we test the basic colors from each group. Here, we do where you can actually see how your skin tone and face changes with these colors. So when it is your actual group, you'll see your skin tone is equal, your cheeks are like red and pink. And remember when we did the test, you were like, oh my God, I never knew I could wear this tone of green. Like we tested it with the greens.
Even when we talk about hotels, you can literally just enjoy being in a hotel room or not. And a lot of that has to do with color, the layout, and I guess color really goes hand in hand with interior design. How closely do you work with business groups like residential projects or hotel projects in creating the perfect environment for the consumer?
The key thing here is to know what you're using that space for. This is where you have to create that mood, and there's certain colors that create a certain mood. So for example, if we have in a hotel area, you'll notice that any hotel you go in, there's always a lot of earth tones, beiges, maybe slight yellow, because yellow is a very positive color. It's friendly, it gives people positive self-esteem, and at the same time, it's a place that there's a flow to it. And key thing also, especially when it comes to the interior of the home, because you have so many different personalities in one space.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you have to make sure everybody's kind of being in the same mood when they enter a certain room. So for example, in the kitchen, you need to have some accessories or some fixtures that are orange to make people hungry, which is the best thing for kids.
That's a good
yeah,
tip.
Yeah. So this is how we use it in interior. It depends on what that space is used for, and accordingly we use the color that gives you that mood and puts you in that environment in a relaxed and balanced manner.
So let's talk about an office space. What would be your recommendation for achieving the best results for an environment, whether it's employees or your own office space? Is there a magic color that creates revenue? Is it green
yes,
for money?
Of course, there is a color of money. Well, with office space, it's interesting because you have different departments and each one of them has a different purpose. So for example, the accounting department or finance is very detail oriented. So they need the color blue around for them to focus. And at the same time, you need the trust of the CEO in them. So this is how we achieve the purpose there. But say, for example, in a meeting room, you can actually close every deal by having the right colors around, because you have to have a blend of course, blue, because we said the open communication and the trust, but at the same time, there should be brown. So a lot of the meeting tables you see that are very thick, you know, mahogany brown tables, it's there for a purpose.
So I feel like we're getting all the secrets out of you. Let's talk about relationships and good sleep.
Well, it's very important actually, the color of your room, because we spend a lot of time there. And that is our safe haven, I would say. So the colors should be always very calming and neutral colors. And a color that actually kind of isolates you from the world is the color gray, because it is a neutral color, but at the same time, you actually disappear. So even if you're wearing gray and you want to communicate with someone, they actually will not pay attention. Light blue, light green is also a very relaxing color. So very neutral, soft tones are great for a bedroom.
And finally, jewelry. Gold, platinum, rose gold. What's the secret to buying the best jewelry?
Exactly. This is my favorite part because I love jewelry, as you know. So it's interesting because each person has their unique way of expressing jewelry. So number one is the metal that suits each personality. So some people can wear gold, some people cannot. And it's the tone of the gold or silver. And the jewels is fantastic. So there's some personalities who like very minimalistic jewelry. They would never wear colored stones. So they would go for like a plain white diamond or plain black pearls.
And my last question, if someone wants to specialize in color like you, what is the first tip you can share?
Well, first tip I always say is find your passion. Because, for example, I started off as majoring in fashion design, but then I saw my niche was more color psychology. So you need to concentrate or focus of where your niche is. But the first thing you do with color psychology is understand the basics of the effects of the colors, because each color has a positive and negative side. So you start with that and then you go on into the concentration. So it's either fashion or it's digital marketing or it's self-development. So it all depends on what you're passionate when it comes to color.
Now, thank you for being a guest on our show. Before everyone leaves, I always ask them one question, and what does living beautifully mean to you?
Living beautifully for me, since I'm very much into color and design, so my environment has to be beautiful. So interior design is extremely important in my life. I feel if you balance the mind, body, and soul system in your life, you truly will be content with who you are.
I love that. But thank you so much for being on our show, and thank you for watching each week on the Couch series with Indigo Living. Please like and comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, follow the Gracious F if you have any questions of how to add just a dash of color in your life, whether it's for peace, success, harmony in the home. Definitely follow Fatima. Thank you for watching and see you next week.